Hello and welcome back to Planet Stronghold Colonial Defence. Excellent. I'll make arrangements to have your model. Don't worry, I'll make a small replica and then scale up. It won't take much time. Thanks. Well, it would be my luck to have some alien horde attack. And birthday suits aren't exactly regulation uniforms. If you'll excuse me, Captain, I need to get back to the drawing board. Hope it proves productive for you. Talk later. So he's making a classic sort of naked Greek statue. Why the hell not? I've heard worse ideas. Mitsuki, I'm impressed, and I don't say that very often. Thanks, but are you certain it's going to work? I'm more hands-on than pure science. Well, the math works out fine. Of course, it doesn't mean it'll be bug-free without real-world application. Wait, you two said you needed some help, but suddenly I feel like one of those frogs in biology class. Don't worry, Charlotte, everything's going to be fine. Why is it when secrets man isn't meant to know are being plumbed, you two are usually involved? Maybe man wasn't meant to know, but as you notice, we're women. I assure you we have things under control. Captain, do you have any idea what's going on? Is it safe? For the last time, nothing will happen to you. After our discussion about EG, Captain, I decided to do something more constructive with my time, something that even you couldn't have a problem with. What do you need Charlotte for? Well, I looked at Mira's work for Lucius's neural network and examined the interfaces with the virtual network and realised that we should be able to copy someone's mind, someone's memories. I know that it was possible to impress someone's emotions and surface thoughts, but there was always a limiting factor that it had to be sufficiently strong to work. However, Mitsuki's inspirations bypassed this. Wait, so are you saying this could record someone's entire mind? In a digital format, but yes. And you were going to use me as a test subject? Look, I don't mind helping advance science, but that is asking too much. So, Charlotte was going to be your first test subject without her approval. It's EG all over again. Remy had no ill effects. It was quite fascinating to see things from his perspective. Besides, we need to monitor things just to be on the safe side. Wait, you could experience someone else's thoughts? Well, I did say it was a perfect recording, at least up until that point, so one could be a voyeur, I guess, but that isn't the end result. Call me impressed, but that isn't necessarily a good thing. With someone's memory, you could download it and put it into something else. A robot built with Lucius's specifications could make a perfect host, as long as it was a blank slate. For that matter, a fresh-grown clone could be used as well. And here I thought my clone, my lover, was an interesting piece of entertainment, but now you're making it possible? Then the next thing you know, people could field their own football team. Have you even considered the long-term implications? I swear Cadence fears are now made manifest. Those with wealth and power, they can keep it forever. The one equalizer between the haves and have-nots was death, and now you've done away with it? At least have a little faith in us. Our research isn't accessible by digital means. We certainly don't intend to share it with those we don't consider worthy. You said it yourself, the average person can't be trusted, and we intend to make sure it stays that way. You would be the ones in charge. And thought to include Charlotte? Wait, why me? Well, you'd be one of the few. You don't seek power for its own sake, you seem to care about people. I can't think of a better choice. And you're a botanist, so you won't have to worry about you disseminating the secrets of virtual immortality. You're also on our list of people, Captain. Just think, you could live on. What do you say? Tricky moral dilemma, this one. The old, if you can live forever by transferring your consciousness into another body, is that really you, or is that just a copy? You know, is it living forever, or do you end up with replicative fading? Which, in case you've not heard of it, is the idea that no matter how hard you try, you can never make a perfect copy. So as you make a copy of 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 a copy, you know, the quality goes down and down and down until it's unrecognizable as the original thing. You know, it's like if you photocopy something and then make a copy of that photocopy and make a copy of that photocopy and so on and so on and so on. And anyone who's been to a school where they've done that for about 3 or 4 years knows that eventually, you know, it's completely unprovable. So no, thank you, but no. No, we're in this universe for a span of time and then move on for the next generation. To do otherwise is to strangle the future. You might be right, Captain. I was excited to come up with this, but I guess I didn't consider all the implications. Only you can decide whether it was right or wrong, but I'm with the captain on this one. I would hate to see my daughter grow old, live and die while I stayed the same. Well, Captain, let's wrap up around here. There's a new game I want to try. I love the fact you can go from serious, holy hell, that technology is kind of impressive, but also kind of, holy hell, are you insane? To, there's a new game I want to try. Xavier, has there been any kind of stunt you've refused to do? Offhand, no. No, wait, I take that back. There's only one feat I can't picture myself ever doing. And what's that? Standing up to your father? Hardy, hardy, har. You're right, Remy. That was too easy. And beneath me. Have you ever heard of the snakes of Kalendor 4? Who hasn't? Some of the largest reptiles in the galaxy. Hell, some of them are almost as large as our own Borogrubs. Yep. Well, as you know, there's a contest each year for someone to run the whole length of the snake. Of course, there's a little matter of climbing up the sides and getting down safely. You won't find me doing that. Now, that doesn't make any sense. I've heard your stories about riding the Borogrubs. Why would you be bothered by snakes? Can I just sneak in a Dune reference and just go, "He is the Kwisatz Haderach"? Thank you. It's because they aren't the same thing. I mean, Borogrubs are just glorified worms, and we use them for fish bait, but snakes? Ugh, forget it. But most snakes won't even bother you. That'd be hard to fear when you live in Brazil, when the jungles are teeming with snakes. Tell me about it. Of course, if you carried a machete, you were rather safe. And might explain a rash of lacerations and injuries. That's why I have to keep my eye on Remy. Aww. Don't give me that. One of these nights I'm going to have a heart attack as he lets one of his tentacles slide under my sheet and up my leg. I'd be more worried if he was thinking of you in a more amorous matter. Besides, I wouldn't be talking about fears if I were you, Mitsuki. Who's the one who has Remy go through the computer lab at least once a week? That's practical concerns. You know I don't how rats night the nest, and they'll tear into wires. Thankfully, rats are kept in check. Hell, I would probably be scared of them if they grew when exposed to gnarlstones like cockroaches. Ugh. Now that is a fear to have. Is it true that they can live for a couple of weeks with their heads cut off? Depending on the cut, certainly. Now imagine that giant size. Maybe you slice its head off in power lines and now you have a headless monstrosity demolishing your city. Imagine if there were zombies. There'd be little to stop them. True, shooting them in the brain won't work because you need a head to start with. I notice you haven't said anything about your fears, Griselia. There's little that scares me, whether it's in situations, animals, whatever. So not claustrophobic? I could put a bit of a dampener during spin the bottle makeout sessions. No. I'm more scared of myself, or, well, more accurately, my powers. If I ever lost control, I could do some real harm. Not to mention how much your psionics are tied into your mental state. And worrying about how they can get out of control can lead them to getting out of control. A perpetuating feedback loop. Self-doubt can get you killed. I mean, when you're plummeting at terminal velocity, you don't want to get any worries about whether you packed your parachute correctly or not. No, I don't need your help in that regard either. So, Captain, is there anything you fear? Yeah, tell them the truth. If you must know, I hate clowns. I can handle them during a circus, but I admit I secretly kind of hope their little car catches fire. Okay, now I know what I'm going for as Halloween. There is brave, and then there is suicidal. And that would make for an interesting obituary. Time for me to move on. Rigel's roped me into polishing the tank barrels. Have you noticed they all basically get to question for the captain? 3 choices. Then it's like 3 lines of dialogue and then straight on to something else. I don't have a problem with that. It's just, you know, it's a pattern I've noticed. Damn it. When are they going to get the power fixed? This is getting aggravating. They'll get it fixed when they get it fixed. Why, is this cutting into your game time? Actually, no, Mario. I was setting up the parameters for your fantasy football league. I was entering your roster when the fluctuations started. I empathise with your frustration as well, Mitsuki. I almost cut my finger off during the first outage. Yeah, dissections are best accomplished with a light on. Hopefully this isn't an act of sabotage. No, it's just some fool left their lunch on a transformer and it melted, ruining everything. Unfortunately, with the war, we don't exactly have any backups. I hope the person who caused it is at least being punished. Oh, he is, don't you fear. There are military rations for a month. Nothing fresh. Why don't they fabricate what they need? I mean, we have the means. To use the 3D printers, you have to have power, which we currently have. Continuous power. With intermittent power, the stops and starts can cause other damage and you'll be right back to square one. We have generators, why not use those instead? Actually, power is not currently the issue. The system went down, regulates the power flow. And I could handle the outage if it wasn't so hot. Actually, I'm a bit surprised you haven't done something about that mirror. Change how hot it is. Well, I guess I can adjust the thermostat, but it won't do much good until the system's fixed. No, I'm in control of weather. I've heard you say you miss snow and rain as well. It does rain occasionally. Yeah, and there's usually a flash flood warning to go with it. At least it gives me and Gruselia an excuse to go out, remap the surroundings. Gully washers is definitely the correct term for it. A bit too hot for you? Well, a cool, refreshing breeze wouldn't go amiss. You know something's wrong when it smells like ironing. Even a day or two of respite would be nice, although I could think of a way or two to cool off. Caden and Samuel with a couple of palm fronds stripped down to their waist. I was thinking a few ice cubes down my front, but I like your idea much better, Mira. And what would be my reward for doing all the work? I don't know. Peeled grapes tossed in your direction? Actually, you've studied a lot of other things. Why not mastery of the weather? Maybe she's unable to. That doesn't seem right. I mean, back on Earth they were doing cloud seeding centuries ago. It's not I can't. I won't. And for no good reason. And for good reason. Think about what happens if you could control the weather. If you need rain, you get rain. If you want warmth, you can make it warm. I get it. What happens in one spot is affected half a planet away. The butterfly effect. If you can use it to rain in one spot, that means another place will be going through a drought. Okay, you don't have to belabor the point. And if we're capable of it, then what'll stop our enemies from doing it? Exactly. You bathe their armies in lightning, they'll bury yours in tornadoes. Might not be as flashy as a nuclear explosion, but the consequences could well be as far-reaching. Captain, could I speak with you for a few minutes? Something up, Mira? Nothing, just trying to convince the captain to be our fanner. I'll give you 100 credits if you can get them topless. Mitsuki must think so little of me. Surely I would be worth double that amount. As much as I would love to see that, I actually have something else in mind. Captain, after the recent discussion, would you be averse to authorizing a weather control program? Correct me, but didn't you just enumerate a number of reasons why we shouldn't? There's a reason I'm not in advertising. However, bear with me. This wouldn't be a case where we'd use it, but it would be more preemptive, in case someone else does it first and chooses to use it against us. Authorize the program, but let's try and be peaceful about it. It could be useful, so try to put less far-ranging and peaceful applications out of it. Try to minimize the butterfly effect. Alright, now that is a challenge worthy of any scientist. Oh, no power fluctuations. I better get back to my lab while it remains so. Okay. Oh. We'll be heading into one of the NPC side missions. Did I? Yeah, I think I did 4 in a row there instead of going and doing a side mission. Whoops. Oh well. Either way, that's a pretty good point to end this part. So I'll say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next.